Now we're going to talk a little bit about foot controls on our Yamaha 450. We're going to change the stock brake pedal and shifter to Hammerhead products. Hammerhead makes great products. They CNC a line of their products, and that's the line we're going to be using. We're going to start with the shifter. You can tell it's CNC machined out of billet, and it has a knurled end folding tip on it, and the knurling just gives you a little more traction with your boots in case you're in muddy conditions. They're really nice products. Everything seems like it fits really well in the past when I've used their products. Really strong, not too strong. You don't want a brake pedal or a shifter that's too strong, or else if you're in an accident, in a wreck, whatever, you can bend your shift shaft if your shifter is too strong. So you want the shifter to actually bend, but not bend too easy. So I think Hammerhead's come up with a great product, and it works really good on the bike, and we will put this on the bike and talk about it while we're installing it. Also, we are going to put on the Hammerhead rear brake pedal, which is another CNC machined piece. There's a couple features on here that the stock brake pedal does not have. It has a stop machined into the back of the brake pedal, which just stops the pedal from going up too far in case you do run into something, a rut, another motorcycle, whatever it may be. If it doesn't have this stop, you could hit the mud, the rock, whatever, and the brake pedal could pull up and rip the guts out of your master cylinder. So it's a really good idea that they did this, and then they built it into the product and made it look so clean and nice. Another feature is this adjustable tip where your boot actually touches the brake pedal. Now you can adjust this. It's a titanium tip, which it's super light, doesn't weigh anything, but you can adjust it on these different threaded holes. It's held in by 2 bolts, and you can adjust it closer to your foot peg or further away from your foot peg. I've got it adjusted on the furthest away from the peg just because I have big feet, so it feels more comfortable for me in this position. But I think the product is really good, and it's going to look really nice on our bike. One more piece that Hammerhead has and we're putting on our Yamaha 450 is their brake clevis. It works on the back brake, and it actually fits up to the brake pedal in this position, and this is how you adjust your rear brake. It's just a stronger, lighter piece that they made. The stock is steel. This is obviously machined aluminum. The Hammerhead brake clevis comes with a pin and a cotter pin that actually it looks like it's made out of better material. So anyway, we're going to get down to the shop. We're going to put these in place on our Yamaha 450. We're going to see how they look, how they work, and actually take you through the install step by step so you can do it at home. Now we're in the shop. We're going to put the Hammerhead shifter on and the Hammerhead brake pedal, and we're going to use the Hammerhead brake clevis also for the brake pedal. We're going to put those on. It's going to be a pretty simple job, so let's get to it. Now there's only one bolt holding the shifter on, and it's way back there. It's back behind the chain. It's a little bit difficult to get to. It's a 10 millimeter head on that bolt, so you're going to want to get the best wrench you can. Make it as easy on yourself as possible. I've got a ratchet wrench, which seems to work best, but I think for any wrench it's going to be a little bit difficult. So let's start spinning this. Now that we have the bolt backed out, now we just need to get a hold of it and ease it out. And then slide your shifter off. So the hammerhead comes with a bolt already in it. It has a small little washer on the bolt, and I'm going to keep that on there. You can see that. And then you want to slide your shifter onto the shift shaft. And I like to line my shifter up level with the foot peg, but to each his own, wherever you feel more comfortable when you ride. And make sure you get that washer back on that bolt. Now that we have the bolt threaded up and somewhat in place, a lot of people like to pull their shifter out. Some people like to push it in, but I like to get it right in the middle. There's a groove where the spline is on the shaft, and I just like to center that and then tighten her down. Now we're over to the brake pedal side, and first thing we're going to want to do is pull the clip out of the back side. And then I'm going to actually just break this loose. Give it a couple turns and thread the bolt out, not all the way. Just keep it right there. Then I go to the cotter pin. And take that cotter pin out. Take the washer off. And before I take that pin out, I want to break this tin nut loose. Don't really move it, just break it loose and back it off 1/8 of a turn. Now push your pin out. And then take your standard clevis off the back of the brake pedal. And now you can finish taking the pivot bolt out. Now we're going to remove the standard brake clevis, and all you have to do is thread it down. You want to leave that nut in that place. That's where your standard clevis was. Most likely it's going to be at a different spot. There's more material on the hammerhead brake clevis. The standard one's a little lower, so we will be adjusting that nut up a little bit to try to keep the same brake tension on the rear brake pedal. So let's do it. Just pull the cotter pin out and drop the pin out. Now we're going to put the hammerhead brake clevis on, and we're just going to thread it right up the shaft. And that's where the standard one was, so we know it's a little higher, so let's just move it up a few threads. And we should be fairly close there. We'll do our final adjustment at the end. Now we're going to move to our brake pedal. And first thing we're going to want to do is put the spring on the back side of the brake pedal. And you can just feed it right into there. Easy. Get it somewhat into position. And remember, you have that brake stop down there. You might need to adjust that if it's not in the right position. I slipped the brake clevis onto the back of the brake pedal there. And I'm going to start my pivot bolt. Make sure your O-rings seat into the brake pedal when you're screwing this in. You don't want them to bulge out for some reason. Just thread that in there. Give it a snug little turn. Now you're going to want to put your clip on the back side again. And now we're going to adjust our brake clevis here. We're going to need to go up a little bit further. You can see how it's dragging down a little bit, not quite centered. So we're going to thread our nut up a little bit more. Keep turning our brake clevis, and there we're centered. Now you want to take your hammerhead pin and slide it in. Now you're going to want to put your hammerhead cotter pin in the back side of the clevis pin. Slide it in there, rotate it, and grab it with a pair of needle nose and hold your pin and bend it. Now that we have everything tightened up and in place, you want to tighten up the lock nut on your clevis. You want to make sure that your stop is in the right position, because that's going to change where the brake pedal sits. It's in the right position, level with the foot peg right now, but maybe your bike won't be the same as this. So just make sure you check that, and you check that the tip is in the right position to where you like it and feels best to you. So we just finished putting the shifter, brake pedal, and clevis on, all of them from Hammerhead. And as you can tell, the quality of the product is really good, and the install is pretty simple. It's straightforward. Just got to make sure that you get all your adjustments correct on your shifter, on your brake pedal. Get them where you like them, get them where they feel right. You might change them when you start riding a little bit, but if you get them set and they feel pretty comfortable to you on the stand, they should be pretty good on the track. So that's it for the Hammerhead. Don't forget, there are 3 ways that you can order here at Chaparral. You can call our 800 number, which is 800-841-2960. Go to our website, shapmoto.com, or just come on into our store and you'll be able to order whatever you need.